Good morning.
Welcome to DrupalCon Denver! Woohoo!
I'm Robert.
I'm Jam.
And this is our 5th consecutive opening session, and we've got some fun things for you.
Is it the 5th?
It's the 5th.
Wow, okay. So, how many of you are at your first DrupalCon or your first DrupalCon? Oh my God. Wow.
Hey.
And how many of you are repeat offenders? Also good, also good. So, all of us who've done that, hey, morning, Doug. So, all of you who've done this before, I want to give a big, big Drupal welcome to everybody who's new here. Welcome to the Drupal community. Thank you for coming. It's only going to get weirder. I have a couple of serious things I want to get out of the way this morning. I just read Larry Lessig's new book, The Outsider's Guide to Fixing the Republic, and he has a lot of really great things to say about what we do. In the world of computer software, open source communities develop and improve ideas organically based on concepts and practices that work. I'll insert my comment here. It seems that Drupal is one of the largest, most active, and most successful open source projects there is, so I felt very strongly that he was talking to me. Driven by innovation contributed by individuals, open source simply means that a system is available to any who wish to contribute. It provides the fastest possible rate of improvement for ideas. Now, the very interesting step that he takes in his book beyond this statement is he says that open source, this idea of fast, successful innovation, is now spreading beyond software, and he quotes significant figures in both the Tea Party and the Occupy Wall Street movement, saying that their movements are open source. So I think that we are starting to change not just the web, but the world. I'm excited. We are, for all that Drupal's great software, the most important part of Drupal is you, is us. We're great people, we're working together, we're cooperating in ways that no group of people has ever done before. So, for all of you that are new here, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on, but you've taken the first important step, and just by being here, you're already contributing. Thank you for coming. What you're getting yourself into, keep going. One more. This is not the slide you're looking for. So, what you're getting yourself into, this project, there are about 16,000 active developers in our project who made more than 4,000 code commits this week to our project. There were over 6,500 comments in the issue queues this week. And Drupal.org sees 1.5 million unique visitors a month and over 300,000 downloads of the core. So, in 2011, there were more than 100 Drupal events, and in total, more than 10,000 people attended those events. I counted each event as a number, so of course, if I went to 5, that's only 9,000, right? So, but the idea is that we're doing great, and it's really exciting, and I think that there's going to be a lot more Drupal action in 2012. So, thank you for coming. Have you noticed that our slides are in the browser? We wanted to get across the point this time that Drupal's fun. So we built this entire session in Drupal. Somehow the size of the screen is a little interesting. Today at 10:45 in room 206, we're doing a BOF about how we built this. So this is a Drupal website integrated with the Impress.js library, Node.js, and JPlayer. Come and see how we did it. come help us work out the bugs. The other reason we did it this way is it in a normal presentation, you'd see something like this probably, but we don't want to do that today. We'd like you to have your devices on, please, and that's because the theme of this, the special theme of this conference this year, I had trouble remembering the motto of the conference, so I'm calling it Drupal on all the things. Yeah, I really did have trouble remembering collaborative publishing for every device, as nice as that is. I'm sorry. So, please get your phones out, open up your laptop, fire up your iPad, your Android, your internet-connected prosthetic or quantum brain implant, and point them at this site, please.
That's jrob.tv. That's J for jam, Rob for TV, or Rob for Rob, and TV for this is better than anything you could see on TV. So one caveat, in our testing, we have concluded that Firefox browsers may not work so well, so if you have the option of what to open, go for Chrome or
Safari. Seems to work well.
And we just didn't test Internet Explorer at all. Okay, so now if you've all gone to this website, you should actually have a message on your phone that says, welcome to the rest of our presentation. Keep an eye on this screen now.
Who's got that?
As well. Is loading slow? Okay. The other caveat is that we're completely and utterly dependent on the bandwidth of the wireless. So there's a good chance that some of these will take a while to load. About how many of you don't have this screen yet? Say, me? You have to understand from where we're standing, you look like a bunch of spotlights. Okay. Well, just if you feel like you're falling behind, just hit refresh. Your browser will go to the right slide no matter where we are in the presentation.
So, we want to make sure you understand that Drupal's fun and that actively contributing is even more fun. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. Drupal offers a lot of different ways to engage now as a project. Work on core, I put first. I'm also very, very excited. There's a couple of friends of mine have done what they call the Boston Initiative, and there is a session about it. I don't remember exactly when that is.
It's Wednesday morning.
It's Wednesday. The Boston Initiative, it's the core contribution ladder. They've come up with a very exciting system to, in bite-sized, doable chunks, learn the skills and the practices necessary to contribute directly to the core of Drupal, and it's very, very exciting. Yeah. Good job. That's Brian and Jeannie. Shout out. You can, of course, write modules. I encourage you to check the repository. If you're looking for a functionality, 999 out of 1,000 business cases are probably covered, and it being open source, there's probably a module for that. I encourage you to find someone else's module and improve it, but writing new modules is also very, very helpful to us. Creating themes, sharing them back with the community so that our sites can be beautiful. Right now there are 1,400 or so themes on Drupal.org, and we could always use some more. Writing documentation is a subject close to my heart, especially the people who are new to the project when you are trying to figure out how to get this darn thing to work and set that setting. And when you solve one of those problems that kills you all afternoon and then you get it, it would be great if you go and find that documentation page on Drupal.org and make sure that the instructions are clear, or create new instructions so that the next person who has that problem and remembers to Google it can then fix it quickly. And then you've already contributed in a very significant way to the project. So writing documentation is a great way, and especially when you're fresh to the project, when your eyes are still fresh and you're not used to the quirks of your setup. Any kind of testing, patching, fixing, and even just complaining that this thing doesn't work on the issue queue, as long as you can describe the problem clearly and make it reproducible for other people, there's a much better chance it'll be fixed. Therefore, the project will be better. My fixed bugs are your fixed bugs. If you're in this in any business way, any managerial capacity, if you can facilitate larger projects happening and coordinate multiple people and organizations to work on Drupal, that's also huge. The more Drupal that happens, the more demand there is, the more there is for all of us to do, and that's also a good thing. I encourage you, not only on a personal level, but if you are any kind of a manager, business owner, please give your code back as much as possible and empower your people and teams to do the same. If you write great modules that solve a difficult problem, you will make Drupal better by sharing it. If you can afford to give your teams maybe a day a month, 2 days a month, 10% of their time, encourage them in some way to work directly on Drupal and not necessarily on a company project. We'd be very, very grateful for that. A lot of organizations do that, and the project is much, much better for it. So I encourage you to do so. I am going to hand over most of the rest of the presentation to Robert, and our next question is, what did you come to DrupalCon to learn?
So for the people who are just entering the room, do have your telephone or your laptop out, be connected to the internet if at all possible, and go to the website jrob.tv, jrob.tv, and you'll be able to participate in the presentation with everybody else. Now, here's the real test of bandwidth, etc.
Here we go.
See, I'm on the internet too. I've got an alert and still there, still. Crap. Early morning debugging. But you'll be happy to know that debugging resulted in closing an XSS attack on this. I didn't want anybody being a smartass and XSSing my demo. So, so now when your browsers catch up, then you should. Oh my God, we're going to see those alerts the whole time. That's going to be horrible. You should get a form, and you can tell us about the things that you came to DrupalCon to learn. So pick the top 2 or 3 topics that you want to learn about, whether that's HTML5. Yeah, I'm just going to click OK the whole time. That's a real bummer. How do you do it?
You can disable those, I think, in Chrome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is Safari. Well, I XSS myself, it looks like. When we get through it all and you've all typed in your thing, we'll actually have a pretty kick-ass tag cloud that was supposed to update itself along the way.
I'm getting Node 14.
Node 14?
49.
49? Well, hit refresh. Well, it's okay. We can recover for this. So, like, somebody's interested in taxonomy. That's a great. HTML5, that's a great one. So, aside from me having just ruined this part of the presentation by leaving an alert in there, this canvas with the swirly, the tag cloud, and some of the other things are only possible because of HTML5. Oh, interested about Robert Douglas? Okay, well, you're getting your share of me and my coding failures now. Case studies. More about development. Responsive design, so that's a huge topic. For your information, the theme that we've used, which is very minimalistic, but which should work fairly decently on everybody's devices, is actually called the responsive_theme. It's pretty good. It's a very simple responsive thing. Okay, book module I saw, great. The whole presentation with the slides that are going on like this, that is actually all...
That's the print view of a book.
Of a book hierarchy.
Rendered as a GemPress canvas.
So, unfortunately, that's not going to work very well, so we have to see what we can do. Stop telling us what you're interested in. We've lost interest. Oh my.
He said fix it live.
Yeah? Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, I got to kill this browser because you've like overwhelmed it.
So for all of you people who are new here, Drupal is one of the most powerful, easiest to use, simple installs that you can build amazing websites with no coding at all.
And never run your site as root unless you only intend to have it up for one day. Can't believe I'm doing this.
Can we get the Twitter stream up on the side for a second? I'm curious to know what...
I'm not.
He can't see it from there, so...
You taking notes? This is like serious VI foo going on here. It's horrible. My fingers are shaking. I've never been this nervous on stage.
Is there a module building competition this time? I don't remember. Yeah, so this is probably what it feels like, right? Oh.
All right, here we go. Back at it. It worked in IE. I think I got both of them. I think I did. Let's find out here. The problem is that Safari's not loading in my browser, my computer. Jam, keep improvising.
Okay. What was that coding tip from the security team? Larry, what did you say? Oh, look, it wasn't you?
All right, so you can really see that it's actually truly Drupal. Okay, let's try that again. What are you interested in? Go for it. Let us know about it.
Aha!
See, this is an HTML5 canvas.
Way to debug! Whoa!
Oh, okay. So let me tell you about this.
What, Rob's beard?
Yeah. Okay, so this worked. We debugged it live. We got to move on, though. So the next one's actually really interesting. Yeah. Go. It's interesting at the pace of the internet in about 1995. It's like a 56K dial-up modem. All right, so the setup is here, and your phones should all be changing to a bit of text that I have sent to you personally. And when you get your text, I want you to pretend that you've got the all-important task of proofreading that text as if it were going to be part of Drupal core, like it were code and really important, or documentation that thousands of people were going to read. Okay, this is to show that everybody out there is a contributor of some sort or another. And when you get that text, I want you to do a very simple thing. Count the letter I. How many times do you see the letter I appear? And then fill out the answer, okay, in your text, okay? And when you know for your text how many times you have the letter I, then we'll move on. Take your time.
16, 30. 30, 27.
Okay, be accurate, be honest too, no cheating. And don't look at your neighbor's text.
We need to work on the style sheet. Can you open that up?
Yeah, we didn't really test this chart for scalability. Okay, remember, it's important. This is for Drupal core.
Yep. Count the letter I.
Okay, now I'll give you a hint. We've got, what, about 10 answers up here? What if I told you it's all the same text? Only some of you are right. By the looks of it, most of you are wrong. Count again. You can change your answer. Okay. Well, who thinks I should show you the answer now? Okay. So it's actually 25. And for the record, the people who most highly populated answer was the correct one. And that's the good thing, you know. Code you can correct. If you find a bug, you can fix it. And just think, if we could move Drupal core along this fast without all the issue queues, then Drupal 8 would be out yesterday. Okay, so that was just a little bit to demonstrate why it's so important that we have so many eyeballs on every line of code, every line of documentation. Everything that we build as a community is really important. So pitch in. You've got some skills. At least 153 of you do. So you're all great contributors, and I highly encourage you to actually go review documentation.
The more eyes we have on Drupal, the better Drupal is going to be.
Yeah. Okay, moving forward at the speed of the internet. Blue. The color blue is quite important to Drupal, representing water, peace. Okay, so this was actually the follow-up to the last task. The more eyes you have on the task, the more accurate you can be.
And if it's still loading on your phones, the mobile slide is one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite Drupalists, Jeff Eaton. I believe it says, "Quality and security are common outcomes of transparency." And I think that is a wonderful way to talk about open source. Thanks for that, Jeff, if you're here.
So now it's recruitment time. There was a reason we brought you here all together, and we talked about Drupal and all that, but now we're going to have some fun. I would like to introduce you to the concept of the Ipad Orchestra, which is actually you, whether you have an iPad or not. So get your phones out. You're going to be asked to participate in a world premiere medieval chant put to the text of Merlin of Chaos's The Book of DrupalCon, and it featuring Node.js, voices, and a mobile device orchestra. Oops, no. Now I have to actually go to... See, I closed the browser, and I was no longer prepared for this bit. You know, it's going like a typical Drupal demo. All right.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so when your phone loads, you get to choose a voice.
Turn up the volume if you got it.
Stage, do we have sound?
Are you plugged in? So.
Yeah. Tech, Bill, my sound? Thanks. Get into the mood. I'm controlling your laptop.
said, let there be websites. And behold, there was Drop.org. And he saw that it was good.
Verses from the Book of DrupalCon by Merlin of Chaos. And on the second day, Dries separated sessions from Bootstrap and database and form system. And he made sure data could be retrieved. And on the third day, Dries created the taxonomies and user accounts, and he populated them with vocabularies and friends from his dormitory. And on the fourth day, Dries implemented nodes and comments, and the users all posted in the forums and said very clever things. And on the fifth day, Dries created text filters and blog posts and aggregators, and lo, the content did pile up most gratuitously. And on the sixth day, Dries fixed all the security holes created on days 1 through 5. And this took all night.
Upon the seventh day, Dries slept, was community burgeoned, and now Dries needn't code anymore. Thank you, Joe Bacana, Stephen Merrill. A special round of applause for our guest, reciter, singers. Thank you, Earl, for the Book of DrupalCon. Thank you, Dries, for Drupal. The keynote's coming. Have a great con.
And thanks for coming to our session. See you later.